Hi guys, rumor has it that you have missed doing word problems, so let's go ahead and knock this one out. So today we are going to be, I guess, focusing on maximum profit. So let's go ahead and start off by reading the problem. So problem reads, the profit in dollars from the sale of X car seats for infants is given by P of X equals, and this polynomial, where I guess this is domain. Okay, so use a graphing calculator to answer the following. Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to read the entire prompt, but one of my pet peeves is not understanding what the variable and what the function represents. I just read the problem for fun. Now let me go ahead and read it so I can have a fighting chance to see what the independent variable and the output or P of X represents. So it says the profit in dollars from the sale of X car seats. Okay. So the profit and the units in dollars, okay, is given by the following. So I'm like, okay, to find the profit, I'm going to use this function. So I'm going to write down that P of X equals profit. And if there's a unit involved, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so now I feel a little bit better. Okay, what does P pretend you can read my dollar sign. Yeah. I need to get a different pen, but this is my favorite pen, so we'll survive. Okay, so what's so special about P of X or the function? Okay, it represents the profit. Now I need to know what X or the independent variable represents. So from the top, the profit in dollars from the sale of X car seats. So we're selling some car seats, okay? So X represents the number of car seats. I'm going to go ahead and put the symbol for number of car seats. So now I'm feeling pretty pumped because I have a clear idea of what X and what P of X represents. So X represents the number of car seats and P of X represents the profit in terms of dollars. Okay, cool. So it says use a graphing calculator. Oh, I love those kind of problems. Use a graphing calculator to answer the following. So we have two questions. We're just going to pretend it says A and B. Okay. So it says find the number of car seats that must be sold to maximize the profit. So let me just write down my thought process for A. So we want to find the number of car seats. So let me just put car seats equals question mark. Okay, that's my way of writing down, hey, find this. Okay, find the number of car seats that must be sold to maximize the profit. Okay, whenever we want to maximize anything, then we need to have a high point. Okay, we have to have a maximum value. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off by graphing this function. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Cool. So we're gonna go to y equals. Found it, and that's the problem. That's the problem that we did earlier. Sorry about that. Okay, so to find the profit, we have 38x minus 0.035x squared. So exponent. So let me go ahead bust out my special effects. So gentle reminder, the exponent key is below the clear key or above the division key. So raised to the second power. So if you're in the superscript, go ahead, use your side arrows to get out. And if you're not in the superscript, then you just keep writing. Okay, minus 4,000. Cool. 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go ahead, hit graph. This is a screen that we had from an earlier problem. I want to come back home, so let me go ahead, come to the standard viewing window, and then we'll adjust the window. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna hit zoom, and then we want to select option 6. So we either use our drop down arrows or we just punch in the digit 6. So Z standard is code for zoom standard. So that's the standard viewing window where let's go ahead, hit graph. Enter. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Okay, so the standard viewing window for the X, it goes from -10 to 10, and for the Y, it also goes from -10 to 10. Now, I don't see anything graphed here, okay, but we have to bear in mind the domain. Okay, the domain for X is from 0 to 1700. So let's go to the window. Okay, so we're gonna hit window, And then the domain is from 0 to 1700, so the minimum for X should be 0 and the maximum should be 1700. That is the domain, so we can care less what happens before that or after that. Cool. The scale, you can adjust it, but I leave it as such. So okay, so I'm in the domain, so hopefully after we hit graph we are gonna see a high point like we want to. So let me go ahead, speak to myself. We want to maximize the profit, so we should have some maximum value. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, hit graph, and okay, all I see what appears to be two parallel lines, but I don't see like a peak right there. Okay, so we need to play with the Y. Okay, so we have options. So option 1, you can go to window and then manually increase the maximum value, which is fine. That's how I did it as a student. But if you want to save time, let's go ahead, look at the table of values. So we want to go to table, and then we can quickly see what are the function values. So table is not a main key, it's a behind key, so we need to hit second. So we're going to hit second, table, and then when X equals 1, we have that the value of the function is that, and we want to see where the value of the function is going up and then it begins to dip. Okay, so we're going to explore all the values from 0 to 1700. I'm using my drop down arrow, but you know what, this is very tedious. We're counting one by one and we're gonna spend all night or all morning depending at what time you watch this video. Okay, so there has to be something a little bit more feasible, so we're gonna stop right here. Okay, so we want to adjust the table settings. So right now by default the calculator counts by 1, but we could count by 10, by 50. Why don't we count by 100? I think that's pretty nice. Okay, so we want to adjust the table settings. So TBLSET is the abbreviation for table set or table settings, but it's not a main key, it's a behind key. So let's go ahead, put second table set, second table set. And then the first question is table start. So where do we want to start counting from? Okay, so since the domain is from 0 to 1700, I'm going to start counting from the number 0. So let me go ahead, hit 0. And then funny looking triangle, an abbreviation for table, that's the change in table. So what do you want to count by? So again, by default it's 1. I'm going to count by 100. We are going to count by 100. And then we're going to go back to table. I forget if I'm supposed to hit enter. I believe I don't have to. Okay, so let's go back to table. So second table. So again, remember the pauses at any given time. So now, since we're counting by 100, we're going to get to 1700 much faster. But we don't have to go all the way to 1700. We want to look at the case where the function values are increasing and then pay attention when they start to decrease. And then we'll have a better sense of how to adjust our viewing window for Y. Okay, so we're at right now at 4250 for the Y. I'm going to keep going down until we realize we start dipping. So I'm at 5600, 6250, and I believe we started to dip already. Okay, so right now the maximum value that I see on my screen is 6250. That doesn't mean that that is the actual local maximum value, because we have lots of numbers in between. But I'm gonna go ahead, change the viewing window for the Y to go up to 6300, and if I still don't see a maximum value, then we keep adjusting. Okay, but I think that's pretty good. So let's go ahead, go back to the window. So we're gonna hit window, and me and my bad memory, the maximum that we saw on the table I believe was 6250. So I'm gonna go to 6300 just so I have a little cushion. For me, it's really difficult to have the top of the graph like right at the very edge of my screen, so I like to have a little cushion. So we adjust the maximum to 6300. We're gonna go ahead, hit graph. Hopefully we see a maximum. I think we do. Yeah, we do, but what I told you, I don't like to be that close, so let me go ahead and adjust it to 6400. So we're gonna do window and then adjust it to 6400. Why don't we do 6350? I don't have time for that. Okay, I can see the maximum value, but I want a little more buffer. Okay, white space is nice, so we'll hit graph. Okay, good, and just barely made it. Okay, I don't want to keep playing with this. Okay, so after all of this, I forgot the question. Okay, so the question reads, find the number of car seats that must be sold to maximize the profit. So maximize something, we want to find that high point. So we're gonna do second calc maximum. Okay, so let's do this. So we have second calc and then drop down to option maximum. Okay, so I can point to where the maximum point is, or that high point is, or the peak is. Left bound. Let's go ahead, put the cursor somewhere to the left. So we're going to use our side arrows for that. Cool, so the high point is right there, the maximum point is there. I'm definitely to the left of it, so let's go ahead, put enter. And then right bound, let's go ahead, put our cursor somewhere to the right. Cool, so my maximum point is right there, and I'm definitely to the right. Guess, let's go ahead, use our side arrows to move the cursor close to where we believe the maximum point is. And that is it. So we don't have integer coordinates, so I'm pretty sure we have to round to 1 decimal place, but don't quote me for that. I shouldn't even think about that. The question reads, find the number of car seats. We can't have part of a car seat, so we're gonna need a whole number. But let me just go ahead, round both of them to 2 decimal places. So to 2 decimal places, the point is 542.86. We go ahead, write that. 542.8, what did we say again? 0.86. Thank you for that. And then the value of y is 6314.2, I don't know how to round, 0.29. Okay, 6314.29. Okay, so to answer the question, find the number of car seats. So this is an ordered pair, so this is of the form XY. X represents, we had said that X represents the number of car seats. So in this case, if we sell this many car seats, this is the value of Y, but we're using function notation. If we sell this many car seats, then this is gonna be our profit. So to answer the question, we're not gonna put, oh, we need to sell 542.86 car seats in order to maximize the profit. We're going to round up, not because this rounds to 543, but if we round down to 542, we're not going to make enough. We need at least 542.86. So in this case, we are going to round up, not because the math says so. It's just keep it cool. You got this, okay? Always round up. So in this case, we need 543 car seats. Fantastic. That was a doozy. Let's go ahead, knock out problem B. So the question is, what is the maximum profit? So this question piggybacks off problem A. So problem A says, what's the maximum, problem A reads, how many car seats needs to be sold in order to maximize the profit. So if we sell, because we're in the selling business. So if we sell 543 car seats, we are going to realize that maximum profit. But the question now is, well, what is that maximum profit? Well, if we sell 543 car seats, that's going to be the profit. Okay, so for problem B, we don't have to do any more math if you label the ordered pair. Okay, so for problem B, the maximum profit would be, let me go ahead and write down what we have. We have said that the units for profit was dollars. And in this case, we are asked to round to the nearest dollar, or the nearest whole number. So me and arithmetic and all this good stuff don't get along, but I believe that will round down. Okay, so the moral of this story is this. In order to realize the maximum profit, we need to sell 543 car seats, and that will yield us a maximum profit of $6,314. Yeah, that was awesome. But don't worry, I got another good one for you. Thanks, guys.